Hello and welcome to this special edition of Northeast Tonight, the show that decodes the region. I am Wasbir Hussain. The Northeast is known to the outside world as a land of rugged beauty and constant turmoil. The challenge before all of us today is to alter this image, that of the beautiful region which is also troubled. But the question to ask is, why is the Northeast a troubled region? Is the center alone responsible for the economic backwardness of the region? What about large-scale corruption that is prevalent in the states of the Northeast? Is the region a victim of vote bank politics? Are there elements in the region who do not want an end to insurgency? What about work culture? Do we need a separate time zone? Can activist policy be the panacea that can alter the economic profile of the region? But are we in the region preparing ourselves to take advantage of the connectivity and linkages that will happen as the activist policy is getting implemented? Well, to try and get answers to these questions and more, I am joined by leaders of the Northeast Students Organization, which is an umbrella organization of all the leading student groups of the region. And as we know, student politics is a key component of the region's political and social life. And we must say that the student organizations have been playing a stellar role in acting as watchdogs of society and governments in the Northeast, besides highlighting the important issues facing the region. Okay, at this point in time, I have with me from my extreme left, I have an NSF, Naga Students Federation leader, Alam Daime, who is the Guwahati City Unit President of the NSF. I have the All Manipur Students Union Advisor, Srinam Prakash, who is also the Secretary General of the Northeast Students Organization. On my right is Lurin Juti Gogoi, the General Secretary of the All Assam Students Union and an important leader of NESO. And on my right at this point in time is the Tripura Students Federation Advisor Upendra Debbarma, who is also the Vice Chairman of NESO. Gentlemen, welcome to this special edition of Northeast Tonight. My first question to Mr. Srinam Prakash, the Secretary General of NESO. Srinam, what do you think are the three most important challenges that the Northeast is facing? I know you are also an important leader of the All Manipur Students Union, but I'm asking this question to you generally. What, in your view, are the three top or most important challenges today that the Northeast is facing?
Yeah, there are lots of challenges facing, but apart from all the challenges, influx is the number one challenges we are facing, because large scales of illegal migrants are here in the Northeast.
Yeah.
So this is and they are threat to the indigenous people. This is number one challenges, and others are, we have draconian laws being here in the Northeast. India has imposed. There is Armed Force Special Power is there in the Northeast, and lots of innocent people have been killed down by the army officials.
Yes.
Fake encounters, lots of cases are there. And yes, economy problem, economy challenges is also there.
So these are the three important problems which Srinam Prakash, the Secretary General of NESO, has listed. One, of course, is the problem of influx, which is a threat to the indigenous population. Number two, Srinam, you have mentioned, is the problem of the Armed Forces Special Powers Act. Yes. And third, of course, is the economic underdevelopment. These are the three problems which you have actually now cited. Upendra Debbarma of the Tripura Students Federation. See, Srinam is talking about influx. Tripura, we all know that influx has altered the demographic profile. It was once a tribal majority area, but today influx has already reduced the tribal population to a minority in Tripura. Upendra.
Yeah, well, like as you are well versed with the situation of the Tripura, now we have never been under British rule. Now in 1949, in 15 October, that Tripura Kingdom under the regent Kanchanprabha Devi have joined Indian Union. Since then, the Indian government is never interested and have failed to protect the borders where illegal immigrants have entered, and so we are outnumbered. Though we have been ruled by over 184 kings
Right.
over a couple of centuries, but still now we have been marginalized. We have lost our socio-economic and political conditions.
Socio-economic and political conditions marginalized. So that is the general theme. Loreen, the general theme is about the northeastern region. When we talk about the northeastern region, as Srinam has said, basically he's saying that influx is a threat. But at the end of the day, 70 years after independence, Loreen Jyoti Gogoi, we are still talking about the same issues.
Yeah.
We are talking about underdevelopment. We are talking about lack of infrastructure. We are talking about lack of connectivity.
Yeah.
70 years is a long time. Why are we still, who is responsible for this? As I pose this question, is the central government alone responsible for this?
See, central government, they have a policy to exploit this the resource of the northeast area, and they have a mindset. They are doing political injustice to the people of Assam.
Yeah.
Therefore, influx is a very huge, one of the most prime challenges of the northeastern area. Which we have been facing for the last 32 years, last 39 years.
Yes.
And in Assam also, this is main for this issue. Such type of other issues will occur in the soil of Assam.
True.
Underdevelopment, the lack of quality education, and the economic underdevelopment is in Assam. And some of the issues that are addressed in the Assam Accord, that is yet to be implemented. Then porous border.
So these are some of the challenges. Yes, you very rightly pointed out, as Srinam has said in the opening of this discussion, that influx is the most critical issue facing the northeastern region today, and of course the draconian laws like Armed Forces Special Powers Act. Let me go to Alam Daime, the NSF leader. Alam, I mean, basically, see, Nagaland. If we talk about Nagaland, we have the peace accord. We have been talking to the NSC and IM and the government of India for the last 21 years. Now everybody is saying that the peace accord is going to be signed. But still, what is surprising is that Armed Forces Special Powers Act is still in force in Nagaland. Is it a contradiction? Do you think the government should, as a first step, remove the Armed Forces Special Powers Act? Because the Nagaland government is also appealing to the central government to withdraw this act. Alam.
Yes, regarding that, the leaders regarding that particular reader will know about this thing, but then we the student and we the citizen of Nagaland and Naga, we want peacefully that no one should be harassed, no one to be under any circumstances. The top leader, they will know about this, but then we want peace in our state.
Right. Let me welcome at this point of time all Arunachal Pradesh Students Union General Secretary, Mr. Tabam Dai. Tabam Dai, welcome to the program. Yes, Tabam, we were talking about what are the three, according to you, what are the three most important challenges which the Northeast is facing? I know Arunachal Pradesh, which you represent, Arunachal Pradesh has its peculiar problems. We'll come to that. But first of all, to begin these discussions, Tabam, what are the three most important challenges, according to you, that the Northeast as a whole faces?
You see, we have this isolation syndrome, first of all, because we are always treated in a different way. And we can linkage this new development also, the Citizenship Amendment Bill 2016. We can see this also in that context also. So in many ways, politically, economically, we are deprived.
Right. Right. Now the question comes, if I may ask you, Srinam, see, we always have, in the northeastern region, we always say, oh, the central government is responsible. Do you think our own leaders, see, no, the political leaders are our own leaders. They have been elected by us, by people from the northeast. But is it always okay to only blame the central government? Don't you think our own leaders have also failed us to a great extent?
Yes, both are responsible. Our state leaders are also responsible for that. But what I see is that mostly if I take the case of Manipur,
Yeah.
the regional parties are very weak. They are unable to form the government.
Yeah.
So, when the government is formed by the national party, and this government, the chief minister and his colleagues always follows the instruction of the centers, and that is the main reason that we have been deprived, and all the Northeast people knows that we, the indigenous people of Northeast, are being treated as a second class citizen. I did my study in Delhi also, so I faced many times that the mainland Indian people treated us not equally.
So that's a very important point which Srinam is making, that our own leaders are also to a great extent responsible. But if I may take this question to Upendra Debbarma, Upendra, you see now, if we look at now, most of the northeastern states have BJP government directly or BJP led government or have alliance. Now the central government is also run by the BJP. Now take the case of Tripura. There are more than 7 lakh unemployed youths. Lorraine, I'll ask you this question a little later. There are 15 lakh unemployed youths in Assam. Now my question to you, when we have the same government now, what is your expectation from the state government today? Let us not talk about the 25 years of CPM rule in the state. Let's talk about now.
Like, yes, last 25 years of rule by the left, that has been fully criticized now. As the new government came, we are expecting that there will be lots of changes with job employment, change in the infrastructure in education, and also with the amendment bill. Like, even though the government have proposed a citizenship amendment bill,
Yeah.
but in respect of Tripura, there should be a check in the flow of the influx in Tripura.
Check in the flow of the influx. Yeah. And you are expecting a better deal because both the state government as the central government are run by the same political party.
Right.
That is the, and plus moreover, if you know, the tribal people in the state can expect, because there is a tribal based political party which is now a part of the government in Tripura.
Right.
Now, if I may ask this question, you know, both anyone can answer, Alam or Tabam actually. Now, see, Northeast, is the term Northeast doing us more harm than good? You know, because people sitting in Delhi have a policy for the Northeast, but Arunachal has such peculiar problems which is completely separate from the problem in Tripura or Manipur or Assam. Don't you agree that there should be state specific policies, and Northeast, the term Northeast is doing more damage to us than good? Tabam?
Exactly. The central leadership should be sensitive to every state, in particular every state, because every state has its own, as you said,
peculiar problems.
Peculiar problems. It has its own issues, because Arunachal issue is different from, in many contexts, different from Assam, from Nagaland, from Tripura. So in that context, the policy makers at the national level, at the central level, should always devise a means and a process for which the problems of a particular, all the states in a particular, there are certain problems that are generalized, but there are particular problems that have to be looked into by the policy makers.
Jaime, what do you think, Alam?
Oh yes, yeah, according to me, as sir has said, that the Assam Accord has been done in the years of 1985, that in Assam Accord is mentioned that after the 1971, those who are illegal immigrants should be deported. Yeah. We are expecting to full-pledge it, and also we are waiting for the energy, yes, the citizen that
amendment bill.
Yes, the NRC, we are waiting for NRC, that when that will be completed, it will come good news.
Now, let us focus, if we focus on Nagaland, Alam, the issue of Bangladeshi migration is also very rampant in Nagaland. That is also changing the demographic profile in Nagaland as well.
That exactly. That's why I would like to say that the amendment bill is, we are not willing and we are opposed. That even we went to for the protesting that regarding this, we are not happy with that amendment bill. If Assam is the gateway to enter the Bangladeshi or whatever illegal migrants, then from through Assam to the northeast is can spread easily. So this is how we are scared and we are not happy with that bill.
Now you see, Lurin, now you know there are other states which are also demanding. I think it was discussed at your meeting only, the NESO meeting. The other states are also demanding that there should be NRC, National Register of Citizens, should be updated in the other states as well.
Yeah.
Was there one of the decisions?
Yeah.
So what is going to happen? Why are they demanding it?
See, we think, rather we hope that NRC will be one of the constitutional safeguard for Assam, because after the Assam moment, when Assam Accord was signed, in Assam Accord it is clearly stated that we want a NRC, and the cutoff year is the 24th of March midnight 1971.
Yeah.
And on that base year, we
so what you are saying, Lurin, basically is that NRC is necessary in the other states of the Northeast as well, because the problem has percolated to the other states as well now.
Yes.
The illegal migrants.
Yes. Illegal migrants is not only the problem of Assam, it is a problem of the whole Northeast area, because all states are largely affected by illegal influx.
Absolutely. Illegal migrants are a problem of the entire Northeastern region. I'll have to go for a break, but before that, I would like to ask Srinam, do you agree that illegal migration is a problem that is afflicting the entire Northeast today? Before I go for a break, very quickly.
Yes, definitely. Very interesting is that it's very difficult to check these illegal migrants, because once they entered and they are very clever. They got married with the indigenous girls and then claiming, yeah, I belong to this state. It's becoming very threat to us.
That is a very important point which you are making. Marriage with indigenous girls. Alam, I want you to comment on this. This is a critical problem in Nagaland today.
Yes, exactly. This is.
Will you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, they are, when they come to the Nagaland, they married with the Naga women, and we, I myself, my own sister, I cannot say that you are the Bangladeshi, you are the illegal migrant, so we accept it as our sister, as a brother. So this is their trick to become a citizenship. They married, exchange married with the Naga girls, and they become, they're trying to be citizenship of the.
So that explains the gravity of the situation. Illegal migrants entering even a traditional society like Nagaland and getting married to locals. I think this is a very, very critical problem the society needs to focus their attention on. On that note, we shall go for a short break. Stay on, we'll be right back. Welcome back to Northeast Tonight. Question is, Upendra Dev Burma, what about governance? How big is corruption? We are always talking about underdevelopment in the Northeastern region. What about politician, contractor, bureaucrat nexus siphoning up huge chunks of development funds? Upendra.
Yeah, well, in Tripura, when we speak of the development, or the regarding the contractors in every sphere, we just have to switch on to the left government, which they have continued for last 25 years. Now, during the reign of this leftist government in last 25 years, especially the indigenous people, in the areas where the indigenous people, there are very little development. Now, even in all spheres, in contractors, in all the kind of developmental works, the cadres of the leftists are involved, and things cannot go smoothly without the provision of the cadres. So, development is very slow.
So, that was one of the reasons why development was slow all these years in Tripura.
Right.
Because of the involvement of the, you are saying, this is your point, that you are saying that left cadres were involved in every sphere of society.
Right.
Now, you know, Tabam, Arunachal Pradesh is a frontier state. Just across the border in China, we see on television fantastic infrastructure, 4-lane roads right up to the border. 70 years after independence, despite being a frontier state, the infrastructure in Mizoram is extremely poor. Even the roads in capital Itanagar have been pathetic until recently. It's a sad state of affairs. What is your opinion?
You see, it's a very sad story regarding the infrastructure development and the road development in the state of Arunachal Pradesh.
Yeah.
And as you have asked about the interior areas, the interior areas in the Chinese border, it's almost there is no connectivity. And in spite of the promises made by the central government and also the state government, I think there is not coordinated effort put in by the, that's why because of that, the people in the interior areas are pressing the brunt. And also of the capital and other headquarters in the state, the condition is almost same.
So what is to be done? Who is responsible for this? How to give a push? Why things are not moving? Tabang.
Well, we're expecting now that with the new the monitoring process should be, the third party monitoring should be very strong on that, because otherwise the corruption in Northeast and in Arunachal also, it's almost systemized, it's almost legitimized, and you cannot blame only the politicians, even to the contractors also, because it's a vicious circle. During the election time, even our voters, they demand lots of money from the candidates, and it becomes a kind of nexus.
It becomes a kind of a nexus. Srinam, I mean, can we see a, see, now everyone is talking about, okay, things are going to change once the Act East policy comes, we'll have connectivity, etc. You come from Manipur. It is the gateway to ASEAN, because Myanmar is the country which has a direct border with Manipur, and that is the only country, only ASEAN nation with which India has a land border. So Manipur is a very strategically located place. Now my question to you is, are you optimistic that the things will really change once the Act East policy is put into operation?
Yeah, as far as Manipur is concerned, I don't think it will be in the optimistic way, because
but why?
Yeah, because we know the attitude of the government, and we also experience a lot with the center government's attitude, and our place is totally underdeveloped, and there is no proper factory industries are there. To me, it may be my personal view, but to me, I feel that the center don't want these places to grow up, to develop. Well, they have a fear that they may be alienated from the India. Their attitude shows us to feel like that. A sense of alienation is there in all the citizens of the indigenous people. It's been done by their attitude.
Yeah.
So I don't think that it will be in the optimistic way.
Lurin, what do you think? Because a lot of people are saying that once the Act East policy, once road and rail connectivity is there, things are going to improve. But you know, you have to make a preparation to take advantage of a certain policy, as in when the roads and rails are in place. But we don't see much of a momentum. There is not much of a movement to take advantage. We cannot wait for the roads first, and we cannot wait without making any preparation. But I don't see any preparations.
Yeah, well, we should have a very comprehensive policy, how we can benefit from that policy. And now the road condition are very poor in the northeastern area, and the developmental activities, how they can expedite, there is no such type of policies there. Therefore, if we can extract from that policy, first we should have some of our basic infrastructure in this area, and we have a policy, a specific comprehensive policy to take benefit from that policy.
Benefit from that policy. Alam, we are talking about the policy, we are talking, but as far as Nagaland is concerned, everything seems to be waiting, everyone seems to be waiting for the Naga Peace Accord. There is no movement on any front. Everybody is waiting for the peace accord. We have been waiting for 21 years since the talk started. Do you think everything has been held hostage by the delay in a solution to the Naga peace problem?
As earlier I said that regarding the Naga peace accord, the leader between Naga leaders and the Indians, they seriously talk about this, but then we don't know about that. But then we the public and we the student, we really want peace and we want development in our state, like road connectivity and train. There is no train, even capital in Guwahati, in Kohima still there is no train, only like half or 1-2 kilometers we got rail connectivity in that is Dimapur station, only one station touch. So we need development and this thing. And regarding the peace accord and peace talk, we are not so I don't have any knowledge about this, but then we yes we are waiting for that if it is good peacefully come.
So that is the thing, the framework agreement which was signed on the 3rd of August 2015, the contents of the framework agreement have not been shared with the Naga people by either the central government or the NSCN-IM. Therefore, as Alam Daimi has said, that no, he is not aware, means if a leader of the Naga Students Federation is not aware, that means the common Naga people are absolutely not aware of the contents of the record. But Srinam, this is a very critical issue in Manipur as well. A lot of people are waiting with bated breath as to whether you know, how is the accord going to impact on Manipur, isn't it?
Yes, people, this is a very complex issue, and yeah, the people of Manipur, they wanted the contents of the framework agreement to be disclosed. The people are very sensitive, and they said they cannot give an inch of land. So it's a very sensitive and
absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, Lurin, you know, is there a common voice? Do you think there is a common voice necessary, or is it possible? Is a common voice possible? You have been able to gather together. I'll ask this question to Tabam as well. But before that, Lurin, now you have gathered together under this common platform called NESO.
Yeah.
We have, but why can't our politicians gather together, cut across the political lines and talk in one voice?
Yeah. See, though we are politically and geographically divided, but we, the people of Northeastern India, we are united in some common issues, and we should fight unitedly to extract from some result from the center unitedly, because emotionally, mentally we are united, and some issues are common to all the states. Therefore, we have some visionary leaders also who can unite us, and we can fight together. Therefore, the entity of the United Northeast is very important. It is the hours of the time, and some issues we can solve unitedly. Now we have shown our unity and solidarity in the last
citizenship amendment issue,
and other issues also. So we can fight together.
It is possible. It is possible.
It is possible.
Tabam, I mean, is it possible, or is it necessary? Is it too idealistic? Is it too childish or optimistic? I mean, to think that we can have a common voice?
Absolutely, a common voice can always come together.
But it's possible, you think?
I think it's possible when the state government, like the Meghalayan government, and Conrad Sakma can oppose the bill. The other leaders should also come up, because after all, before the politics, our survival, our land, it's all about our identity, it's about our demography, our culture. The leaders should think about that first. Politics, it's a different ball game, we also know, they have their own compulsion, but they have to always think about the indigenous people, about the land. And today we are together here as in the banner of NESO, because this is a greater problem for us, not only for Assam, not only for Arunachal. This is a problem for entire Northeast. They are trying to, again, dump the burden of the 1971, this one, Bangladesh, this one, post-Bangladesh war, this one, and want us to be a dumping ground.
My question, Tabam, was slightly different. Can the Northeast unite to have a single voice? Can the politicians in the Northeast unite to have a single common voice to voice the problems? Is it possible or not?
We are optimistic it should be possible, because that's why we are demanding our particular state leaders also to follow suit the step taken by the Meghalayan government.
Yeah, but that is on the Citizenship Amendment Bill. But my question is generally on different issues on the Northeast.
Yes, of course they should come together. Why should not they come together? They should come together. They should protect us as an MPs from the Northeast. And we know there is a Northeastern MP forum also.
But that is totally defunct.
They are not doing much.
Yeah,
that's the sad part.
That is the sad part. Northeastern MPs forum not doing enough. That is the sad part. That is what Tabam Dai, the General Secretary of the All Arunachal Pradesh Students Union, is saying. Now, Srinam, see, we have so many problems of our own, but we have a lot of prospects as well. It's not that nothing is happening in the Northeastern region. Now, you don't have educational institution of higher learning. Every time you get on a plane from Imphal to somewhere, you see full of young children from students from Manipur going out. They are not going out to do medicine and engineering. They are only going out to do simple higher secondary and even BA and all these normal courses.
Yes.
So it's a sad state of affairs, 70 years after independence.
Very sad status. That's what I mentioned earlier also. The mindset of center is not good towards the Northeast. We have few numbers of university, we have few numbers of these colleges. So these few numbers of colleges, university cannot accommodate our students. So they are bound to go to some other places for higher studies.
Now Upendra, see, if this is the condition, you are all members of important student groups in the Northeastern region. You have united under the banner of NESO. In your respective states, you play a very important role. You are quite influential. You means all the student groups. My question to you is that 95% of the issues which the student groups raise are political issues, although the student groups say that we are non-political organizations. Now, you don't take up issues like education, higher learning institutions, colleges with so much of force as you are taking up, for example, the Citizenship Amendment or some other issue. Why is it like that?
Well, we do take up those issues, like the issues, like we have been struggling hard, the NESO have been struggling hard to create better infrastructure in the Northeast, so that our students doesn't go outside the state for studies. Now, it has been like in Tripura, especially in the rural areas, I have to focus on it because the government who runs the government is mostly the illegal Bangladeshis. Now, it has been published in many of the medias that even the chief minister, the present chief minister, Mr. Biplab Kumar Dev, is also a resident from Bangladesh. Now, in this context, that
is not the issue we are discussing. These are allegations. This is beyond. Okay. It is beyond dispute that he is a citizen of India. A lot of people have their origins before partition in some other places. That is not important today. So let me be very clear. Let's talk to the core issue. Why are the students union, students groups, not discussing with as much force the basic issues of higher education and issues concerning the people?
Like for us in Tripura, even though we have been demanding for a better school, better teacher,
you have been demanding.
Yeah, better infrastructure, which means development of the indigenous people. And the government never wanted development of the indigenous people as a whole in Tripura.
Let me take this to Lurin Juti. The same question. Why are 95% of your demands political, always?
No. We have a top priority in the academic areas because education plays a vital role in the upliftment of a society, upliftment of a civilization. Therefore, education we have the topmost priority in the policy level, policy making level, because you see.
But true, but we don't see any action on that front from organization like ASU, for example. No. I'm not talking about NESO exactly.
No, we are doing a lot in the academic areas. There, we are always trying to solve the academic issues in the various forum, and we have a very planned policy to uplift our students to facilitate the quality education.
Okay. You have a plan. You have a plan policy.
We are doing some effective works also.
Right.
Because see, now we are living in a knowledge era. Knowledge is the main factor of the academic system, and new courses are coming. New emerging trends of the education system are coming. Government they have duty to introduce such type of academic system.
Before I go to a break, is the NESO, do you have plans now to talk about this, assess the situation of as far as higher learning, institutions of higher learning in the Northeast is concerned? Are you going to assess? Are you going to make a survey? Are you going to make a recommendation to the state governments in the Northeast?
Yes, it's already there in the Charter of Demands of NESO. We have submitted a memorandum several times.
To whom?
To the Prime Minister of India.
Saying what?
We have lots of Charter of Demand. I don't remember exactly the number, but in that Charter of Demand, there is education sector is there, economic sector is there.
Okay, so there is a Charter of Demand. You want institutions of higher learning to come up as much as possible in the northeastern states.
Yeah, we had asked to the Prime Minister.
Absolutely, we'll have to wait and watch as to what the government does to demands like this, whether they are treated as just routine demands or whether there is action, and that we'll have to wait and watch. On that note, we shall go for another short break. Stay on, we'll be right back. Welcome back. Let me go straight to Tabam Dai. Tabam, you are from Arunachal Pradesh. There is not much of a news of any local insurgent group. That's why I'm asking this question to you. There is a feeling that there are many elements within the Northeast who do not want the insurgency to end, because insurgency is a big business in the Northeast.
Yes, exactly. Our state, who doesn't have a homegrown insurgency problem, but because there are insurgency groups that comes from across the state, like even there are NATION. There's so many splinter groups of NATION active in 3 districts of our state: Longding, Tirap, Changlang, and also the Ulfas. Sometimes they cross into that. In that regard, our state is a peaceful state, but there's no.
Yeah, my question, you know, Tabam, is this: that there are many people in the northeastern region who do not want insurgency to end. Do you agree to this, or do you think it is wrong?
Exactly. It's there must be something. That's why even the draconian law like ASPA has been in a long enforced for such a long time. But in spite of that, there is no any kind of remedy till now. The insurgency it's multiplying.
Sridham, what do you think?
Yes, it's a very good question. Before 2009, there were lots of fake encounters. Lots of every day we hear that 2 people have been killed, insurgency problem, lots of. But in 2009, one organization filed a petition to the Supreme Court regarding these fake encounters. They clubbed together all about 1028 cases. And after that, it decreases. All these killings have decreases. So and now almost we didn't hear that some people have been killed. Very rare. Now it's all. I think the problem has been solved. There is no more casualties.
So what is the point you are trying to make?
I want to say is that ASPA is repealed for every 6 months. I mean review. ASPA is to be reviewed for every 6 months in order to extend. But this kind of bomb blast things happen just before this time for review. So who are
okay, that
behind
is a very loaded.
It clearly shows that there are lots of people who want insurgency because this. Yes,
Saddam, carry on. Yes, you feel free to come in.
Yes, it's a lucrative business. No, it's kind of like, and there are political nexus also. It's not only about the insurgency. It's a political. There are so many. Governments are installed by insurgency group, even in the recent past also we have witnessed to that.
Governments installed with the support of insurgent groups. That is also, you know, being said by Tabam, and Srinam has made a very important question as to why there are bomb blasts just before the review, just before the end of 6 months period of the Armed Forces Special Powers Act. So there is a question mark which the authorities need to answer, or we need to ponder. Alam, what do you think?
Yes, according to me, by killing we cannot control the underground and this and the thing. The proverb say that hungry man is an angry man, because here in Northeast we didn't have any enough economics and finance, we don't have any development, so we are hungry enough, so we are angry because of the development, because of lacking economics, we are coming out this, according to me. So to solve this problem, we need education, proper education, and also we need development and economics, so that this thing will be minimized day by day. By killing, you cannot solve the problem.
Hungry man, but you know, if you look at the statistics, if you look at the official figures, you know, there is no shortage of money in the northeastern region. The government funding is absolutely liberal in the northeastern region. There is hardly any shortage of funds. Then why is this happening? Why are the development funds not trickling to the common man? Is it because the large chunk is siphoned off to the, you know, the insurgent groups?
Yes, some of the social issues are there, underdevelopment and the lack of quality education. These are some of the issues for which this such type of activities are present in the northeast area, and because state patronage will be there, maybe there, because it is a politics. It is a politics on the various areas. They center they can. They are willing to exploit, they are trying to exploit the whole natural resources from this area, and such type of policies are there, and therefore this type of activities are still present, and they are growing day by day.
As we are talking regarding the insurgents over the northeast and even outside the northeast, like I will be requesting the government through this channel that the central government should take very good step and more better steps to talk to the insurgent groups of all over the northeast, and also with reference to Tripura. Now what I feel is, what I have seen as a student leader in Tripura, like insurgency increased because of the undevelopment of the tribal people, and as we all know that we have been outnumbered by the illegal influx. Now it is because of the rule that we are the rules that the illegal influx people, they are ruling us. So they never wanted our development. So in every sphere they just want to dump us down. So this is one of the reasons where the insurgency have rised up in Tripura. But what I want to say is that
but peace accords have also been signed. Don't forget that.
Yes, but still there are some insurgent groups. So the government should come up with good initiative to talk to them and bring them to this to the mainstream.
But you have very rightly said, but I want to ask you this question to Srinam. You come from Manipur. It has got about, you see, 40 insurgent groups which are in some level of, I mean, activity. You know, there are 40 one insurgent group has about 12 factions. Now my question is, like, you know, what do you think? Like in Nagaland, the government of India is talking to the NSC and IM, and 6 other groups have now joined the peace process. But there is another very important group which is outside the purview of the talks, that is the NSC and K. Now my question is, do you think it is possible to bring lasting peace by talking to one group, because there are so many other groups which are not part of the peace process? This is a general question to you.
I don't think it will be lasting, because they will again start the same thing.
So what is the solution then? Then government of India, you think government should not start peace process with anybody?
The government should start talking peace process with all the groups, not with single.
But government is willing to talk. But for example, take the Meitei rebel groups in Manipur. they are not coming forward to talk peace with the government of India. Government of India is appealing to them again and again and again. So,
no, it's not,
what is the solution then?
No, it's not like that. It's not like that because I can't exactly tell the year, but I heard, we know that one faction, one underground militants, they have placed, they were willing to talk with the center, provided they have given some criteria. So the center didn't conditions. So the center didn't agree with the condition, then it's gone in a vain. So
let me get in the regarding the peace process talks in context of Arunachal Pradesh, because since we don't have an homegrown militant terrorist group or whatever underground group, the people of Arunachal Pradesh is quite fed up with the insurgency coming from the other state. Who have always demanded the state government and the central government should have a make a proactive process and should with all its strength to crush the insurgency. But they are dilly-dallying, and in that context we can see that there is a tacit understanding between the insurgency groups and then political leaders. They have allowed it to grow as a business.
But what are the politicians in Arunachal going to get, if you can explain?
No, that's why they have been, because 3 districts of Arunachal Pradesh, and I have told earlier, mainly the
Tirap, Changlang
and Longding. But because there are the insurgency from Nagas, they have come, and they always they keep our leaders from that area in a threat position, and they always dictate what to do, what not to do. In that position, it becomes very difficult for those leaders to decide for themselves. And in that way, in the recent past also, we had heard that there has been their hand in toppling the government.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, Loreen, I think an organization like NESO, it's a very tricky situation, is it, when you come out with these kind of problems facing respective states. It's not a very easy job to keep 7-8 student organizations representing 7-8 states with different issues you have to resolve. It's a tough task.
Very tough.
Yeah, definitely. Every state they have a different problems.
Yeah.
And different challenges are there.
Yes.
And different communities, they have a different culture also, different languages also.
Yeah.
But we are united emotionally, because in Northeast we are always united. Now we are.
Yes, he's saying that you are united emotionally. Srinam, you are the Secretary General. My question is, how tough it is?
It's very tough, because there is always tension between the 2 states. Assam and Meghalaya border tension. Assam
and Arunachal.
Manipur and Nagaland.
Assam and Mizoram also.
Assam and Mizoram also.
But student union have always been has always facilitated man-to-man, from person-to-person talk. In that way, the students' union have played a very crucial role.
But a positive role in peace building.
Yeah, and I really appreciate all the component organizations who are in the NESOs. And very luckily, the component organization in NESO are the apex student organization in their
respective
region.
states. That is why they have a lot of influence.
Lots of influence, and they took very initiative to resolve all the problems. And but it's very difficult.
But it's a tough challenge.
Tough challenge. But they have taken.
Now, one more issue that I'd like to dwell. How is the NESO looking at it? I want you to ask this question, Alam. When we talk about students from the Northeastern region or youth from the Northeastern region facing racial discrimination outside the Northeast, it's a very serious problem, isn't it?
Yes.
Very often you see media reports, so and so people being racially abused, racist attacks. And so on.
Yes, exactly. I should say that I really appreciate the NESO. They have initiated such kind of program and is organized. Yes, as you say that in the Northeast student, those who went out from the Northeast, they have facing lots of problems. So they, yes, even the outsider, they came to know that their parents is Nesu. So Nesu controlling this thing. And also I appreciate the Nesu, that as our leaders say, that it is very difficult to, yes, in one family, two brother and two brother and sister, very difficult to manage it, very equivalent. So the 7th state is a 7th state. It will be difficult to bring like one family, but then somehow they can organize such kind of program. Okay, that means we are united.
Srinam, it is actually 8 states. Why is Sikkim not a part of NESO? Are you planning? Is there any effort to bring student organization in Sikkim too under the banner of NESO?
Yeah, we are planning, but the component organization which are already in the NESO, they are all non-political. This one, but
in Sikkim, what is the position?
In Sikkim, we are trying, but right now we could not find any
non-political student organization.
There.
Okay. Kind of umbrella organization also.
But they are mostly linked with the politics.
So youth organizations in Sikkim are generally linked to politics, or political parties.
Yeah, we don't want to link with the politics.
So Upendra, I mean, like again coming back to this issue of racism on Northeast youths outside the region, it's a very serious problem. Upendra.
Yeah, racism in the Northeast is
outside the Northeast, or are you talking about in the Northeast?
Outside? Are you?
I'm talking about outside the Northeast. Northeast youths from the Northeast going outside to study, facing racist attacks.
Well, see, the people of Northeast, we have different way of dressing, different way of different food habits. Now, since India, when you take into consideration of Delhi or maybe some Mumbai, Chennai, especially this Delhi side, not India. Now, since the heart of the Northeast people are very gentle and very good, and we are mostly, since our heart is very good, we are influenced by the soft saying of any people outside the state.
So now, what are the steps to be taken to bridge the divide, if at all?
Yeah, we also came to know that as we have already said, the people outside the North, especially North Indian and even South India, they hardly know sometimes a few years back. Now it is only maybe a few years back that they came to know about Northeast. They only know about Assam.
So lack of knowledge about the Northeast. So,
yeah, exactly.
So what is the prescription? Lorraine, do you think it's high time the central government introduces chapters on the Northeast in the textbooks of NCERT and other CBSE and so on?
Definitely, because we have a first history written in a scientific way in the northeastern area. Therefore, our culture, our history should be introduced in the national level education system, national level textbook. Then they can know our culture, our language, and our food habit also. Therefore, it is a time for the central government. They should
act fast.
Introduce
introduce lessons about Northeast and its culture in the proper textbooks
and history,
history and textbooks, so that people can know about the region. Now, Tabam, one totally different question to you. You come from Arunachal Pradesh. It is said that the sun rises first in Arunachal Pradesh. Now, we always talk about the poor work culture in the northeastern region. It's a slow place. People just don't want to work as hard as people in the other parts of the country. Now, my question to you, Tabam, is do you think there should be a separate time zone for the northeastern region? Do you think we need to have a separate time zone? Do you think that is going to help?
Yes, exactly. We should have a different time zone, and it has been placed in the Charter of Demand by our Apex Student Organization of Northeast, NESO, that have been submitted to the Honorable Prime Minister of India. Now, we are in support of that. We need a separate time zone so that we can have our own work culture.
Yeah,
support that.
We need a separate time zone. We need a separate time zone for the northeastern region. That is what Tabam Dai is saying. The the General Secretary of the All Arunachal Pradesh Students Union. Okay, that is a very interesting concept. Srinam, work culture. Work culture is a very critical issue, isn't it?
Yes.
If that is the reason for lack of work culture, do you think the time zone is going to help?
Yeah, it will help a lot, because about 1 hour difference is there. We are following Indian Standard Time.
Yeah.
So if we have the this time zone in our northeast, then we will get 1 hour more. So it will help in work culture.
1 hour more. But is there a common representation? Is the NESO going to make a representation to this effect to the central government?
Yes, we have already.
You have already.
We have submitted already.
Oh, you have already submitted a separate time zone.
We have been demanding it. We have been
And
demanding it.
we also have made campaigning all over the northeast.
Yeah.
Like we have made every kind of seminar and workshops in almost all the states of in the northeast.
Yeah. All the states of the northeastern.
Yes. So
absolutely.
awareing people of having a separate time zone in the northeast.
You will have a separate time zone in the northeastern region. I think that is going to help. Now basically one more thing I would like to ask at this point in time is the issue of we have already discussed the issue of racism against northeastern students. We have talked about insurgency. We have talked about development or the lack of it. But can we have a common minimum program? See, with working with the state governments in the region, can the NESO have a common minimum program with the respective state governments in the northeastern region? Ultimately, how much you sought from outside, ultimately the programs and policies will have to be executed by the respective state governments. Srinam.
Yeah, I think.
Carry on.
Yeah, I think NESO is the first organization who demanded for separate time zone, and NESO demanded to the center many other issues also, and after that this donor ministry it is also formed after the pressure and demands from the NESO. So we have been trying.
Okay, absolutely. Sorry to cut you off. We are at the very last part of the debate. I have just been joined by the Mizo Zirlepol advisor Ricky Lalbiak-Mawia, who is also the finance secretary of NESO. Ricky, welcome to the program. We have also been joined by the Garo Students Union president Tengsak Momin. Welcome both of you. You have joined the program at the very end, so I'll have to ask some straight questions to you. Ricky Lalbiak-Mawia, we are talking about the general issues concerning the northeastern region. We asked each one of the NESO leaders present here, what according to you are the 3 most important issues which the government must focus on the northeast? Ricky.
Yes, sir. Actually, there in the Mizoram, one of the biggest problem we are facing is this illegal immigrant issue.
Right.
And this one we have to give a concern by the central, and then by trying to implement this Citizenship Amendment Bill 2016. If we make this bill into an act, then it will have a very serious impact on our culture and everything. Already this Chakma, we can specifically those illegal immigrants are coming to the Mizoram as in troops. They were.
So who is responsible for the illegal migrants' entry into a state like Mizoram, where apart from the normal checks and balances, you also have the inner line permit? So who do you blame for this?
I blame some authorities. Some authorities might be to blame in that council, because we do not know how they get their birth certificate and all. But they claim to have the birth certificate, and we do not know who give them. Some authority, so that means it is very easy for them to get that thing.
That means at the end of the day, it is the state government which has to take the responsibility.
The state government is also taking responsibility, but then those Chakma council They have their own council. Yeah, council. They work all together. No, those Chakmas and their councils.
But you see, Ricky Lalbiak Moya, if you talk about today,
yes,
your Chakma Autonomous Council, the two most important political parties today in Mizoram are running the Chakma Autonomous Council.
Yeah.
It is the Congress and the BJP. It is the first time in the country, that the Congress and the BJP together are running the Chakma Autonomous Council. What do you think about that, Ricky?
That is very, I think, let's say unfortunate, because actually in Mizoram, we would like even our political parties not to associate with these Chakmas.
Now, that brings me to a question. Let me start from Tensak Momin, the Garo Students Union President. Tensak, do you think we have been discussing as to why the Northeast is still undeveloped 70 years after independence? We have seen so many governments in all the northeastern states. We have the NESO all fighting continuously for the issues concerning Northeast, but yet we are underdeveloped. My question to you, is vote bank politics being pursued by the politicians in the Northeast? Do you think that this vote bank politics is one of the reasons why the region is underdeveloped today? Because everybody is only interested in electoral politics, getting votes, getting elected, becoming an MLA or a minister.
Regarding the question, I think it's a tricky question. But first thing first, yes, I agree that there is a vote bank politics, and we faced this kind of politics back in Meghalaya also. And because of this vote bank politics, many of these illegal immigrants from Bangladesh are being
my question is aimed at that only. Carry on.
So, yes, to address the issue of the development in Northeast, I think this vote bank politics must go. First of all, this vote bank politics must go because the true beneficiaries, the true indigenous people must get the maximum benefit of any kind of development. So, in one way, if we look at it from the perspective of these illegal migrants, you are asking my colleague about the three most important things to talk about development in Northeast.
Yeah.
First thing first, I think we have to take into account this illegal influx of Bangladeshi migrants is a huge factor, because they are taking our land, they are taking away taking away food from our plate. So these issues must be these issues are of very big concern, and because of one thing, the ministers or the MLAs or the politicians, they tend to go with
the tide. They tend to go with the tide. Yes. One more question to Ricky, because you have come late. I am almost about to wrap up this debate. Now you see, Meghalaya is Mizoram. Everybody says the the only peace accord that clicked was the Mizo Peace Accord of 1986 in Mizoram, and after that there has been no real insurgency that has grown in the state. So why do you think it is so? Why do you think Mizoram has been by and large peaceful while the other northeast states are not? Even Arunachal is not that peaceful because it is facing the problem of spillover insurgency from other states. Ricky, what do you think Mizoram has been by and large peaceful? Why?
It might be the church organizations and the NGOs in Mizoram are very influential in our society, and the students' body. We can give credit to them for these things, and the people of the Mizoram were suffering harshly during that insurgency. So they have learned, let's say, they want to avoid getting that kind of problem, insurgency again.
Right.
So in the meantime, even the church, which is the biggest organization, I mean, let's say the most influential.
So they have played a very sobering role.
Yeah, very, very important role.
Very important role.
And whenever some people wants to come back to that kind of insurgents, like thinking or something like that.
The church intervenes.
Yeah, intervene. And so then the church intervene, and the NGOs, even the MZP, even YMA, and all these things, they took this role.
MZP, Young Mizo Association, and all these organizations have a stellar role in preventing. Now, Tensak, I was asking this question to all your colleagues present here, entire panel members here on this program. Do you think there are people, you come from Garo Hills, you represent the Garo Hills, one of the insurgency hotbeds or hotspots in the Northeast. My question to you, Tensar, is this: do you think there are elements, there are some people who do not want insurgency to end?
Again, you have put me on a tricky position right now. See, there are allegations and accusations that some politicians do want the insurgents to be there in Garo Hills, so that there can some kind of politics can be played.
Absolutely.
And if you talk about insurgency right now in Garo Hills is at an end, because the GNLA is almost finished right now. For one or two groups who are just making some noises. So insurgency is almost finished in Garo Hills, and I hope it will be finished for a long time to go, because insurgency it is a big bend for development.
Absolutely. Absolutely. These are some of the important points which the student leaders from the Northeastern region, we had 7 student leaders representing 7 top student organizations of the Northeastern region which have collaborated or come together under the umbrella of NESO. They are all present here in this panel in their respective capacities and also as representatives of the Northeast Student Organization. One thing that has come common is that influx, every one of them has said that influx is a critical issue which needs to be resolved, and there are also critical issues like vote bank politics has to stop, and they have, some of them does not have much of a faith in the activist policy. They want action on the ground, and they say that state leadership is equally responsible for development like the central leaders, and they have also talked about the battle against corruption. It has to go on, and of course, as I asked them this question as to why student groups do not take much of an interest on non-political issues, they tried to say that they have taken a lot of interest in politics, including issues of education. Well, this is just the beginning. Northeast Live is a channel for the entire Northeastern region, and we are privileged to have all the 7 leaders of 7 student groups right in this in the studios of Northeast Live. This is just the beginning. We'll carry on with this kind of conversations concerning nothing but the interest of the Northeast and its people. That is our sole agenda. Our agenda is to highlight the problems and prospects of the region and bring people into the common platform like this one and debate and find a solution to our myriad problems. Of course, it's not just problems. The region has a lot of prospects. On that positive note, I end this edition of Northeast Tonight. I thank all my panelists for being present here on the show.
Thank you.
Goodbye and good night.